Right, so today we're going to be tackling a typical meal that you'll find in every bodybuilder's day-to-day regime, a high protein, low carb meal. And I'm just going to go through how I go about cooking this meal, what I use to flavor, and the way I go about preparing this meal so that I can enjoy it on a day-to-day basis. Right, first things first, we're going to start off with what I'm using. So we got chicken, about 200 grams of chicken. We got my greens, which will be spinach and broccoli. So you're going to follow me around, see how I go about preparing my meals, and I hope you guys find this beneficial. Right, so starting with the greens, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding about 100 grams of broccoli inside here. As you can see, I'm using my scale to measure, and I'm going to chop it up because I'm going to stir fry my vegetables. Right, so I'll take these up, use my cutting knife. Okay, another great thing to note about broccoli, okay, extremely beneficial superfood, okay, probably at the top of the list of your superfoods. These are packed with phytonutrients and calcium that's just great for your body's regulatory system. It's got a lot of fiber that will help with your digestion and just keeping your body regular and healthy. So make sure you get your broccoli in on a daily basis. This is something I generally don't go without. Okay, all right, as you can see, cut into small little pieces. I take some of my spinach. Yes, I'm actually going to measure the spinach. I just want about 50 grams of spinach. That is about 50. And the same thing, I'm going to chop it up into smaller bits. Okay, now the great thing to note about spinach, also packed with phytonutrients. Also, it has flavonoids that are great with aiding in anti-inflammatories, and they're packed with anti-cancer nutrients in as well. What I end up doing is I take some pepper, and I'm a massive fan of cayenne pepper as well, but try not to use too much. You don't want to really damage your intestinal system. Okay, I'll mix it up here, just like this. Cool. Now I want to make sure I get about 4 minutes of fry time in of my greens. Okay, so next up, spray and cook. I got my vegetables on a light fry over here. Right, now personally I don't like my vegetables to come out dry, so what I'm going to do is just place a lid right over the top. While that's going, let's move on to the chicken. Okay, as I said, we want to get about 200 grams of chicken in. Now what I make sure I do with the chicken is I pre-pack my chicken measured up already, so that when I have to prepare on a daily basis, I don't have to sit and cut up chicken and measure. I just take out what's already been prepared at 200 grams, as you can see. 200 grams of chicken, and I just get it ready. So now what I do is to make sure that the chicken fries up nice and great throughout the center is I cut it up right in the middle to make the fillets thinner. Okay, now as everybody knows, chicken's a great source of protein, great lean source of protein, and it has got a protein count of 22 grams of protein per 100 grams and about 1.5 grams of fat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to marinate this, starting with my garlic and ginger. I personally get the one from Homestyle Productions, okay, and it's a garlic and ginger with red chili inside. I'm going to take a dash of this, starting with the pepper, just a few sprinkles. Himalayan salt, I personally do not like to use table salt. I find Himalayan salt's got far more nutrients inside and it's far healthier for you to use. Rosemary and garlic. Twist that up, make sure all the spices get in and around. Okay, while we wait for that, we're going to take out the vegetables. nice and green. I didn't use all the spices there, so now we go into chicken spice. Okay, again, don't use a lot. This already has its own salt inside. Move on to the cayenne pepper again. As you know, I'm a big fan of cayenne pepper. Last but not least, one of my favorites, Raja curry powder. Mix it up. And what you're left with is a super flavorful chicken. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be worried about the sodium and salt content, and I would say to you guys, don't worry too much about that. Your body will find homeostasis with the salt content you have. Just make sure you get a lot of water in during your day, and your body will sort itself out. Again, overly salting your food that everyone's going to be talking about here, not that much of a bigger deal. If you guys are competing during peak week, people generally decide to play around with their salt, and they have their own methods and ways to make sure they regulate their salt and make sure that they go on stage with a harder, drier condition. But during prep and during your lifestyle, on a day-to-day basis, don't make your food boring. There's flavor right here. It doesn't have to taste horrible. Okay, that's warm enough. Again, spray and cook. Right, now we're gonna put the chicken on. I generally let my chicken cook on medium heat, as you can see, pointer number 3 over there. Okay, and like I said again, just to make sure we lock all the juices inside, use a cover. We're gonna let that run for 2 minutes on each side. Okay, in the meantime, let's clean up. Cool, all right, chicken seems to be done. As you can see, juicy, tender pieces of chicken. Generally, I like to add my coconut oil in after because I don't want to waste fat macros in a pan. Generally, just my personal preference. So I put it in after while the chicken is still warm. So I measure it out. That is about 5 grams of coconut oil. Add some of my greens. I'll use the rest of these greens later for one of my other meals, so I just need to add a few in. As you can see, most of the coconut oil has started to disappear now as well. Calorie counts of 264, 44 grams of protein, about 8 grams of fat, greens, all your nutrients, a whopping low calorie, low carb meal, something just to add throughout your day, keep you satiated, and something you can just enjoy. Time to eat.